to talk today about how writing a book and publishing it, even if it isn't considered successful by the industry, can change your life and your career for the better forever. I wrote a book that came out in 2013 about the Mary Tyler Moore Show called Mary and Lou and Rhoda and Ted. This was not my first book, but it was kind of my first major book, the first book where I felt like I actually knew what I was doing and had intentions, and this was an absolute labor of love. I was so excited about it. I was so passionate about telling this story. And, it wasn't actually a huge success when it came out, but the fact is that I didn't even know it because I was pretty new to publishing. My team never said this didn't do as well as we'd hoped, which I really appreciate because to me, it really felt like a success. For instance, this was the first time I was reviewed in the New York Times. It wasn't a rave, but it was a good review, and that was absolutely huge. And, it's not nothing that here is where I figured out, I think, how to write a book. It takes practice and tries. I had one major book before this about the 1950s Mickey Mouse Club, and I sort of flailed around on that one. But this one I really felt like right in the middle of the process was when I figured out how to do this, and writing these sort of biographies of television shows turned out to be largely what I would do for the next many books of my career, and it would be what did ultimately lead to success, including my New York Times bestseller, Seinfeldia. Also, I made friends along the way, and I made really, really meaningful friends that I never could have imagined. This book allowed me to talk to one of my idols, Valerie Harper, who played Rhoda on the show and went on to have her own show, Rhoda, which I'm going to talk about this shirt in a minute. But I got to have tea with Valerie Harper, and she actually helped me a lot along the way with the book project because she believed in it. She helped me to talk to people like Betty White. Sometimes we actually just talked a couple times throughout the process. It just really meant so much to me. I used to dress up as her. As a little tiny baby, basically, a little tiny kid, I would put headscarves on to be like Rhoda. And so that meant a lot to me. But something that meant equally as much to me was being able to meet and interview so many of the female writers who made the Mary Tyler Moore Show what it was, which was the real purpose behind my story. It had more female writers than any show before it because it was about a single woman. And this actually, strangely, was revolutionary at the time to have women writing female characters and bringing their own stories and truths to them. And that to me was the heart of this book. And I got to meet people who were my heroes and became even more heroes to me when I knew them in person, like Treva Silverman and Susan Silver. And I even got this t-shirt. This is a real live t-shirt from the time of Rhoda that the crew of Rhoda bought for themselves as kind of an inside joke. Apparently the clothes set thing was like an inside joke of theirs. And this came from Gloria Banta, who was a writer on both the Mary Tyler Moore Show and the Mary Tyler Moore Show, became a friend, and she gave me this shirt, and I will treasure it for the rest of my life. It means so much to me. I wear it all the time, kind of makes me nervous almost, but what good is it if you can't wear it? So it's really important to keep in mind that there are far more indicators of book success than being on a bestseller list. So Mary and Lou and Rhoda and Ted did that for me. I will, in fact, be spending the next couple of weeks celebrating this book. I want to go back to it and remember some parts of it. There's some things that I left out that I'd love to share, and some thoughts that have come to me kind of since then. I think we don't want to let our books just lie in the past. I think it's important to keep celebrating them. So I'm going to be doing this with all of my books, and this is the first one that I'll be doing